jingle bells. Hey, hello everybody. This is Joey Busuttil from Secret
And,
Men's Business.
and this is Kim High from Her Tribe Within. Merry
Uh,
Christmas.
Merry Christmas and welcome to the special edition of 20 Questions Christmas, all things Christmas. And we're going to be very nice to each other, aren't we, Kim?
Oh, so nice.
I'm actually really proud of my questions. I really thought about. I did some research and I got some really good stuff to
Oh,
ask you.
okay. Well, then that's great. I've got some good ones too. Perhaps a
All
bit
right,
stereotypical, but that's what I quite enjoy.
let's do it. So shall I start?
Yes, please. You go first.
Okay. So the first question is a really general question that I guess people would ask is imagine you have 24 hours to do anything that you want as a Christmas present and the sky's the limit. Just on the spot right now, what do you think you would do?
I'd fly to Vanuatu and go and snorkel with some stingrays.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That question is so fascinating when people have different answers. You know what I mean? Like you can do anything.
I know I could probably have picked something
And
better,
you
but that came
chose
up. I chose Vanuatu.
You chose Vanuatu.
I just want to be on the beach.
That's all right. It's good. Beautiful. My question's done then.
Well done. Okay, I have got maybe a little bit similar. Um, I've got a cheeky one actually. Who are you, or who would you like to? Sky's the limit.
Mhm.
Meet under the mistletoe this year.
Oh, um, look, I would really look. I've got a really big man crush on Russell Tovey. He's an English actor, and at the
Oh,
moment
yeah,
he's on SBS, the SBS show Sisters, which
that
I
way.
love him. So I would meet him. Yeah, I'd meet him
Yeah, perfect. Well
because
done.
I stalk him on Instagram and I like to have these fantasies all the time.
Oh, that's lovely.
All right. So the next question is: I just want your opinion on what you consider. Um, the materialism and consumer waste that goes with Christmas. I want to know what you think about the materialism and consumer waste that is normally associated with Christmas. Like things like where everyone, you know how there's like a trendy toy and everyone needs it, or if things get bought and then you just destroy, like the wrapping paper to me is a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge. This is a really good question. I love this one, Joe, because I've been having this conversation with my kids about. Well, it's bigger than that too. It's about this want that we have for our at Christmas time, do we? But there's not a lot. When we were little, get out my walking stick. Your Christmas present was the biggest thing in the world, and it was one thing of huge value. Now it's stockings full of what everybody else has got, whatever's going down, that little rattler, a pencil with a plastic thing on the edge. There's a huge amount of waste. And I was thinking too about Christmas trees. What's the most environmentally friendly way to have a Christmas tree at home?
What,
So,
to have no Christmas tree, just to have, I saw this really
I
cool
know, but
Christmas.
that's really
I
sad.
know, but this is what I saw. I saw this Christmas tree made out of baubles,
Yeah.
right? Each bauble was hanging from the ceiling and it made a Christmas tree.
Oh, see, that's beautiful. But
So,
what happens to those baubles when they're finished hanging from
well,
the roof? Landfill?
I've still got my bauble from when I was 3 years old. And we put it, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I think that's the point is, those pencils and all those cracker things.
Yeah.
It's
They're just
like,
silly.
if things are used, then it's fine. Do you know what I mean? If you use it.
But a lot of that gets thrown away. But then not having a Christmas cracker at Christmas,
I know. But the thing is, maybe you need to buy
that's
a
selfish.
recycled one, a recycled paper one.
Well, you can make your own too now, I
Yeah,
think,
make you one
can't
with
you?
toilet paper.
With toilet paper rolls.
Yeah. I was
You
going
can
to say
find
to
one of those.
you, are you the sort of mother that actually do recycled wrapping paper?
I do. Christmas is harder, but certainly birthdays we do.
Yeah.
Christmas we should. Yeah,
C-
we do, but we're big consumers. Like family, it's difficult to not be a
Well,
big
it's
consumer.
normal, but yeah, I think you can our family always we buy the bags, and I think we're using the same bags from 7 years ago.
Oh, that's brilliant. What a
Yeah,
great idea.
we just
Yeah,
recycle them.
yeah,
Cool.
I like that one. Good. All right. I would like to know how what age did you stop believing in Santa? Do you remember stopping believing in Father Christmas?
Yeah. Um, I knew you'd ask me this question. I actually prepared for this answer.
Did you?
So
Awesome.
yeah, I remember because I'm a really strong believer. Do you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
believe in freaking.
Magic.
I
Yeah.
get excited for things now, and I'm 50, right? So I remember when I was little, like we'd leave milk and cookies for Santa, and I
Yeah.
remember like not sleeping, and every creak in the house that you hear it's Santa, right? So I'd be sitting on my bed, like you wouldn't dare get out of bed because we would go to midnight mass, and then you'd be like, what? 2 o'clock in the morning, you'd home.
Oh,
Right?
really?
Yeah, we'd go to midnight mass and then come home, and we'd go to my granddad's and have coffee and presents, and then we'd come home. So that too. So you sort of awake but not awake,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
and
yeah.
you sort of waited. So I remember one year my mum had a job, and we were old enough to stay at home, and we found the presents, and I
Oh,
cried for like days.
oh no, because you found what you were oh,
Yeah,
no.
so we found the present. So then all of a sudden, the sadness turned into excitement because we knew what we were going to get. So
That's true.
every time mum went to work, and this was October,
Yeah.
we just played with the presents.
Did you
So
tell her you knew?
no, but like she could tell the boxes were like so wrecked after being used and abused.
And then did you pretend you still believed in Santa for years later? Do you remember that?
No, I
No.
stopped. But
Okay.
I
Oh,
still,
no.
I mean, please don't judge me on this one, but I still get tingly when I see a Christmas movie. So
Yeah.
I know that it's all made up, but I still feel,
Oh, it's lovely.
yeah, I still get
Yeah.
into that spirit. Like we have these traditions, which I think is good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, now this is a bit of a, because my questions are a bit, okay. This Christmas, right, you and your family decide to donate everything that you own except for 3 items. What would you keep? What would be the 3 items that you can't live without, that you know that you need to hold on to and you can't donate them or give them away?
Wow. Do you know, we had this conversation around the table the other night, but we could only take one thing.
Yeah.
And I actually was struggling to think if I
I
really
mean,
wanted
okay,
anything.
I know this is morbid, but like the way to think about it, I think, is imagine if your house was burnt
Yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah.
So it's that sort of like
So
you have all this material stuff. What would you keep?
the people are safe. I don't have to keep them.
People are safe. I think
Okay.
also,
So
I think I want you to make it personal. That's your
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. So it would
Yeah.
have to be obviously photos. I'd want to keep my photos. There's a lot more than 3 photos, but let's make that one thing. The thing that I said that was really important to me about to run and grab something and run out of the house would be my wedding ring. That's pretty important
Don't you
to
wear it?
me. Oh, yeah, but
Ah,
are we? I don't know. I had to find the details. Does that not count because it's on me?
well, I mean, I thought that. So you take it off sometimes.
Well, I don't. I'm just saying that I'm only going to keep
Yeah,
three
no,
things. I'm keeping
it's
it.
on you. So photos.
Okay, photos.
Do you have like
I've got
anything that's memorabilia or something? That's something
yeah, yeah,
special.
that's it. So I've got the books that I've prepared for the kids since they were little of their handprints and their little tags at the hospital and stuff. I'd grab those books. So and the last thing, I guess I'd want this is really really new age my phone because it holds everything that's important.
Oh my god, I need to teach you about the cloud.
Oh yeah, but I'm not convinced I've got everything safely locked
See,
in the
I
cloud.
think it's the same with the photos. You need to put them all in the cloud.
I know you're
Um, but
right.
it's good.
Okay.
It's good, isn't it? Like I love the fact that you. A lot of your answer was about others. The photos about the family, the kids.
Yes,
I love
yes,
that. You know what I mean?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
it's true. Can I steal your question and ask you the same thing? Because I think that's a brilliant one. What 3 things
Well,
would you take?
I don't think I'd save anything.
Oh,
Yeah, like I thought about it when I was writing it. Like I since I've been when I
no,
went
you
through.
have to. You have to.
I know, I know, I
That
know.
was my first step. You
I
have
know.
to take 3
I know.
things.
I was going to say that when I got ill, I really learned to minimalize. So, well, okay, what I would take, because now I know how to use my computer, so I don't feel uncomfortable with the cloud. So
Okay.
everything's up there.
Okay.
I think I would probably, like, when I was younger, I did this course. I was a facilitator of this course. And at the end of the course, every single person in the group got a manila folder and they would write something about you. It would go around the circle and your name would be on the
Oh, yeah,
folder.
yeah, yeah.
And I kept all those. So
Yeah,
I've got
okay.
about 13 of them.
Yep, yep.
Now I know it sounds little, but whenever I'm feeling flat, it's the first thing I go to.
You go to.
And I
That's
just
good.
read and it just makes me feel good. So I
Yeah.
would do that.
Okay.
Um I would God, it's hard, isn't it?
You
Because
got photos that aren't on the cloud though, surely.
no, I don't have any albums. Everything's been uploaded.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think I'll probably save my crystal bowls.
Yes.
My
Yep.
singing bowls
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they're so special.
Yep.
And I think as much as it's really not worth it, I think I love my clothes, but really I could replace it. But I think I'm really
Like one
sentiment.
comfy T-shirt.
Well, yeah, like I really like I've got over 300 t-shirts, right?
Oh, wow.
And I think I'm really sentimental, when really you could just throw them away. But
Yeah.
that question's really provoking, isn't it?
It is though, it is, and it does, and I was the same as you. The first thing I thought of was, I actually don't think I really need anything as long as
Yeah,
everybody's safe and happy, particularly
yeah.
with the fire.
But then
Um,
I guess you think about it, like I just thought now, oh my God, I'd want to take my artwork,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
and you
stuff
were
like
just saying about your little book of, comments. I was thinking, I've got this little book that I've saved every little reflection and quirky, quote since I was a teenager. Would I want that?
yeah, because those things I mean, either we replace them and put them on the computer by scanning them. And I
Yeah,
did that with my photos a long time ago, because the cloud is good because you could be anywhere and the cloud saves everything.
yeah,
Because and
yeah.
also when I see
It takes so much
bushfire stuff
time when
and they're walking around, I get upset.
yeah, I know, I
Yep,
know.
cool. So is it my turn again? Yay.
Yes, how was that? That was a good little sniper I did there.
Um, okay, so I want you to name one thing, one Christmassy thing, right, that you could watch or read every year and never get bored. That one thing that you go to every Christmas that you love. It could be a movie or it could be a book or something that you love and you never
Oh.
get bored of it.
Do you know, until I had kids, I was a Grinch, did not do Christmas.
I knew
So
it.
you did know it, didn't you? Because I was all the environmental, this is a waste, and now I've got the kids. I
But is there a movie or something that you love?
Christmas movie that I love.
Oh my God, I
I
can just,
made my son and my daughter watch Home Alone last weekend because
yeah,
I
like,
thought that was really
oh my God, Kim, there's like thousands of Christmas movies.
I know
Thousands.
there are, but I
Oh
don't
my God, you're so
remember
cute.
them.
So, okay, so what about a tradition? Something that you do every year? Like rather than a book or a
Yes.
movie, is there something that
Yeah.
you do every year that you don't get bored of? So, for example, do you don't get bored of seeing going to your family house every year, or your parents or something?
Yeah, look, Christmas has changed for me massively, and now I am quite the opposite. I'm like Mother Christmas of Point Lonsdale, really. And every year we have an Advent elf, and on the 1st of December, this cloth Scandinavian elf with the 24 pockets arrives. And I put a little Chrissy chocolate and an act of kindness or an activity to do. And that is a tradition that, as much as I get the night
Cool.
before, I hate it. I love the fact that
Yeah.
we all celebrate and get excited for that.
Yeah,
So
I
that would
think
be
that's
for
the
me.
thing. I think traditions are the best. Like my favorite movie at Christmas is that movie Elf. You
Oh,
know that,
that's funny. Yeah, I like
I
that.
know, and I was so tempted to watch it last night, and I can't. I'm not allowed
What
to watch
about
it.
Bad Santa?
Yeah, well, I can watch anything, but Elf has to be watched at Christmas Eve. It's
Yes,
a
okay.
and it's just so
Yeah.
annoying because I really want to watch it now. All right, your turn.
Um, okay, so I was thinking last night, I was trying to think like what's the classic question to ask a bloke at Christmas. And the two things that come to my mind are socks and carving the meat. Is that kind of like your rite of passage? Do you
I've never ever carved meat,
you
but
haven't? Have you been
I
asked though?
no.
Do you hide?
No, because like no, I don't. I just it's just not. I don't cook, so everyone knows. Like
Yeah,
I
but
don't.
if you
I
don't cook, you
literally
still carve.
yeah, but I don't. I don't. I'm not
Okay.
food. Food
Yeah, yeah,
isn't
yeah.
something that I think it's a. It's just like it's like oh, it's my tradition. But my dad's still alive, so he does it.
He
But
carves?
yeah, he carves.
Yeah,
But
right.
we were also we've changed. Like we've had because like same as you, everyone's spread out now. So we've had
Yeah,
Christmas breakfasts, then we've had Christmas dinners,
yeah,
we
yeah.
had New Year's, Christmas Eve. So we don't always have the traditional Christmas lunch because of the growth of the family.
Yeah.
But the sock thing, oh my God.
Is it 100% every year?
Like, yes. But in saying that, I have to admit the people that I always get really amazing socks that I would
Yeah,
never
well,
buy.
nowadays the socks are
Yeah.
fantastic.
Like before I never did.
No.
Like so now I get the really cool trendy socks. So
Yeah.
in a way, I sort of my
You just
mouth
wait for
drops.
Christmas.
I'm going socks again, but then I go, oh wow, they're cool socks.
I'm like
Yeah.
that with hand cream and soap.
Shh. Can I
Oh,
got a question like that? All right,
right,
ready?
so your turn.
Okay, well here's similar. So what's something that people assume that Kim loves and give you over and over as a present, but you secretly hate it? So what's a present that you just
Oh.
keep getting? I guess it's similar to the sock thing, but you're gonna be polite, say thank you, but oh my God, again.
Hand cream and soap.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have never put hand cream on. Well, very rarely. You could probably count them on on your fingers. And soap, I haven't washed with an actual chemical soap since I was
Yeah.
about
Isn't it funny
16.
how those
And
things
they're just
that
in the cupboard.
girls get talcum powder soap or hand cream in that little
I know.
box?
Yeah,
Because
that
when you're
box.
little, and then guys get socks and hankies.
Hankies. I forgot about
Hankies.
hankies. I haven't worn
Yeah.
a hanky for a man for a
See,
long
my
time.
dad still uses a hanky, so he gets lots of hankies.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I was going to ask you, what is the wildest, strangest, most adventurous Christmas you've had?
Oh my god, this is so easy. So I normally I go to America for a conference in December every few years, right? And one year I, brashly made the decision and I said to my mum, I'm not going to be home for Christmas. And so the conference finished. It's normally it's on now, right, in America. So I'm
Yeah.
doing it online at the moment, but
Hmm.
normally you're there this time of year and then you would come home before Christmas.
Yeah, yeah.
But this time the conference started at the 16th or something, and so, because you lose a day, I wouldn't have made it. So
Yeah.
I decided to stay, and I flew to New York, and I
Oh,
stayed, and I caught up with my friends, and I had a white Christmas, and we just got drunk and had fun with our parents. I loved it.
wow. And it must have been spectacular. I always imagine American Christmases.
Well, I went to Bloomingdale's, and that's, like you've
Yeah,
never seen anything like, you think Myers and all that. When you go in, it's
true.
like lights everywhere. And also, they're just more into it. Like they got Santas in every corner and they got
Yeah.
all that stuff. And it's snowing, so that
Yeah.
was another thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was good. I think it was more about the fact that you had a break from family, because sometimes family's
Yeah,
hard
that's a
work.
massive obligation, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, hard
Yeah.
work. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Okay, cool.
Well, mine's sort of like a continuation from the last question I said. So, are you a regifter? And if you are a regifter, who normally gets you soap and hand cream? Where does that soap and hand cream go? Come on,
It
fess
goes
up.
to
Fess
it goes
up.
to
Mum gets it right.
no, no, no. So my family, and they're gonna watch this.
Yes.
My family,
Wait, wait,
before
wait.
I had
Kim's family. Block your ears. I'll tell you. I'll tell you when to unblock.
my family used to do this bigger than Ben-Hur Christmas, and there'd be people like they're so lovely. I've got aunts and cousins who just invite in this eclectic mix of anybody who didn't have Christmas, and we celebrate on Christmas Eve, so most people can make it. But it turned into this massive gift giving time, and I get there and like
What
the
cost
strange,
wise?
no, just you had to give something to everybody, and like there'd be
Oh, like every single
yeah,
person.
like the aunt of the neighbor of the
Oh
person who came,
God.
like, yeah. So I I go through my hand creams and my soaps and make these little gift packs to take for anybody that I'd forgotten to take.
Yeah. Well,
So
some people I think would love that. Like, are you traditionally a gift regifter? Like, I mean, I know you said soap and thing. Do you are
not
you
really.
really? Oh my god, I'm the biggest.
Are you?
Yeah, like I know what I
That's a
like.
good thing.
So, God love my mum and my sister. They always give me Target. I don't wear Target. So like so I regift those gifts, and I've got, and my brothers don't remember what I got, so I give it back to them. It is sort of, well, otherwise it's going to sit in the cupboard or you're going to give it to charity. You know what I mean? It's like
Yes.
I think someone will end up happy with that soap.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, and if it sits in my cupboard, it's just gonna break into
Yeah.
flaky bits and
Because
be
the other thing
horrible.
is, don't you think sometimes you spend hours shopping and it's all over in a second?
Hmm,
And you can tell, especially with kids, if a kid throws your toy away quickly
I
and
know.
goes next,
Oh no.
it's like that whole excitement of building up. So I
Oh.
know that kid's regifting.
Yeah, well, are they, or are they just on that first question of the waste of
Can I
Christmas?
just quickly tell you a
Oh,
story? Like
yeah.
one year, right? I was so good. I bought everyone, like I went and bought this charity thing where we gifted water and a house to these kids. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
like these pictures of, and when
Yeah,
my family
wonderful.
turned on me because I didn't give them a real gift.
I know.
See, I can say what I want because they're not watching.
That
So, it's hard sometimes to please people That's the thing, and it hasn't lost that. It's lost that
Mm.
element of surprise now.
I think it has too. Most people ask for what they want at Christmas. My kids, they've got a wish list and they like this aunt. My daughter will say, "Oh, this aunt's going to buy me this, and my granny's
Yeah,
going to buy me that."
the
And
good old days when it was a surprise and you didn't know.
yeah, I know, but you only got a couple of things too, so they were really savourable. Now
Yeah,
little,
and things also lasted longer.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Um, okay, so I had the same question you had about what your favourite Christmas tradition is. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah,
I could
let's
answer
start with
that.
that. Tell me your favourite,
So, okay, mum.
aside from watching Elf.
Well, what we do is I watch Elf, like it's like 5:36, and no, because that's just
Regimented, yes.
yeah, it's regimented. Because then we need to watch Carols by Candlelight, as you know. So
Oh,
Mum and I watch
yeah.
Carols by Candlelight together, and that's when we wrap our presents.
Okay,
So
yeah,
the whole bag thing has
actually,
sort of
that's quite
spoiled
nice.
that because it's no longer
You just stick them in bags.
the whole sticky tape and all that. So
Yeah,
that used to be fun, and
yeah.
then we'd go to midnight mass,
Yeah,
right?
okay. Do you
So
still
that
do that?
not really, but that used to be a big thing because
Mm.
also when you were small, I think that it seems bigger because you're in midnight, and also I became an altar boy, so I became part of the mass, so
Wow.
that was exciting. So
Yeah.
that's sort of the big tradition, and then I know it's not Christmas, but I always go to the movies on Boxing Day.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I
That's a
always
tradition.
go. I always go to like a gold class and see them. You know how they come
Yeah.
out on Boxing
There's
Day?
always a good one, isn't there?
Yeah. So Wonder Woman is this year.
Yeah, cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, good. All
All
right.
right. So
Tick.
I want you to go back to when you were a little girl, and I want you to share what was one of your biggest Christmas memories.
I have a lot. I'm very, very lucky. I have a lot. But you know that I was born in South Africa, so I've got a lot of cousins. And my mum's side of the family's in South Africa. So every year, my dad's side, we have these massive, massive Christmas Eves. But so it was a real treat if we could afford to go over there. And one year, my aunt and my uncle had lived on a sugarcane farm in South Africa, and it was the wildest Christmas ever. Like there were just kids everywhere.
So were
I
you
was
young or you adult? Adult,
no, I was young. I was
right?
young,
Yeah.
and I remember sitting in baby bars, eating mangoes that we picked off the tree, and bugs bigger than your head, and snakes in the wood pile, and walking barefoot out in the jungle. Like it was a real jungle sort of African Christmas. So that would be
Yeah.
my
See,
favorite.
it's so cool, isn't it? You remember the details, and it was so special.
Yeah, but isn't it interesting? I didn't mention a single present that I got that year.
Well, I think that you just highlighted that it is about the moments because
Yeah,
the presents. I mean, I can't. Can you remember your presents? I can remember I can remember.
different bits.
Yeah,
Yes,
but not all of them. Can you?
no, you
I
couldn't.
remember once we got a kite, and the kite broke by the time it was 10:30 in the morning.
I remember the year I got boot roller skates, white boot roller skates in the 80s. And
Very,
that's when I found out about Santa
very
because
Xanadu.
he swore when he couldn't get it in the plastic bag. Okay, so
Okay, see.
another one. Oh, I want to know, have you ever had to work on a Christmas?
Ooh, no,
You haven't?
no, I've never worked on
Oh, that
Christmas
was a boring
Day.
question to ask then, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I've never
Yeah.
worked on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Okay. When was the last time that someone did something authentically selfless for you at Christmas? Like, can you think of a time? Because normally a woman is the one that cooks and
Well, I
buys the
was going to
shopping and all
say
that.
my mum does it
Yeah.
every year.
So when was the time that you felt that you were given the trait of selflessness and that someone did something for you?
Um, I think it's my mum does it every year. I think she just puts her heart and soul into everything. She arrives at my house and she's always cooked something with incredible decadence and love, and I haven't had to lift a finger, and she embraces us all with gifts that are so generous but very thoughtful at the same time.
So all this time you've never helped. Do you help or
I help. Yeah, I
is it?
do help.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. But she's sort of her bucket is endless. Like she goes above and beyond. She could just bring, a roast chook, but she doesn't. You can tell the hours and hours of
Yeah.
love.
Oh my
poured.
god, I love people's houses are like that. Where you've
Yeah,
just got a whole table full of food.
yeah, yeah. Oh, and our Christmases are quite small, so there's a lot of food for us.
Yeah.
But it's delicious. She's beautiful. Yeah, that's a good question. I like that one. Um, I was going to ask, because you touched on it very briefly, about Christmas being quite a stressful time sometimes with the family, that you enjoyed being away from it. Um, so, this is a very personal question. What do you find hardest to prepare for in Christmas? Like, what's the big Christmas?
Yeah, see, I don't think it's hard. I think it's probably a relief, but it's also tiring. The tiring part is that you have to sometimes be fake.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
it's hi. So it is lovely seeing everyone. It's the beginning part when you sort of go, oh, you know, you've got to be nice to everyone. It's people you haven't seen in a long time. But then you get used to that. But sometimes it's tiring because everyone has to be nice. And
Yeah.
it's that niceness. Like, you know, it's like, yeah, like I remember my brother bought his girlfriend's parents one year
Yep.
and we had to smile the whole day.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
so we couldn't be our real selves. We had to
Hard.
sort of be this
Yeah.
really nice, polite family.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's hard. I mean, you know, we never really have those moments of arguing because we argue all the time.
Oh, great.
So it's
That.
more the other way around when we've got to be polite, and when we're not polite, we get in trouble.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like the only day you've got to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. And you do have to be switched off for big family Christmases. You have to be switched on the whole time, and it can be
Yeah,
quite
and you got to remember, My mum's got 22 brothers and
oh,
sisters.
jeez.
So I've got
That is
actually,
mad.
I want to show you something. I want to show your listeners something, which is really cool. So in this photo that I'm going to show you, or every single woman is a grandmother to the woman next to her. So
Okay.
it's
Okay.
multiple generations,
Yep. Yep.
and the little boy at the front is my cousin.
Okay.
So all those women are grandparents. So
Oh
they
my
there's my
good.
cousin, his mother, my grandmother,
Yep.
my grandmother's grandmother, my grandmother's mother, my grandmother's grandmother's mother, and my grandmother's 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 mother.
And they were all alive at the same time.
They're all alive at the same
One,
time
2, 3, 4, 5, 6
because
generations.
they you know, they got married really young back then. So my
Yeah.
grandma got married at 14, 15, and then had 22 kids.
Beautiful. That is
Yeah.
beautiful to catch that moment.
So
My
Christmas was always busy. So, you know, that's
yeah,
what I'm talking about, the fakeness. Like it's
yeah,
100 people
yeah, it is. It
being,
is.
hi, hey.
Some people's families do Christmas very low expect, like you just blob around and you eat yourself, and then you undo your belt buckle and you just sleep on the couch, and there's no expect, like
Yeah,
everyone has a nap, and like that's not really what my Christmases have been.
no. See, mine's not
And
about
I
the
wonder if
food, it's about the people.
yeah, but I wonder if that could be frustrating too. If everybody's just loafing around, you just want to get something done.
Well, think about the opposite. Think about people that got no one.
I know. Well,
You know
this
how
is
they said, what do they
this is
call it?
the
The
question.
orphan Christmas, right?
Yeah, and this is the question that I had said that we probably need to, given that we are, um, running mental health support
Yeah,
group, is to open that box of that, you know,
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. Like it is
being
interesting though, because
lonely.
we're having Christmas drinks, right? The Secret Men's business,
Yeah,
but a lot of guys aren't coming.
yeah,
See,
okay,
so there's still that sort of like, oh, do I really want to meet people in reality, or do I want to stay online? So, you
yeah,
know, and we've really tried to encourage people to come. So it is, you know, I think we're getting more and more that whole orphan Christmas, or even people saying no. Well, I think, you know, a few decades ago we had to go, but now people
oh,
are just saying no, you know.
yeah,
So I don't think people are connecting as much as we used to.
yeah. I do think that some people feel it's a time where they notice their disconnection, though, and can feel quite
Yeah.
lonely.
Well, that's why suicides and all that go up, right? Like it's
Yeah,
that hard thing. That's why I think, you know, having that tradition of the movie, the wrapping the paper presents, if you have a good year or a bad year, you've always got that tradition. So you
mm,
don't really feel like anything's out of sync.
yeah,
For
yeah,
me anyway, that's, you know, that New Year's Eve always feels solid.
yeah,
You can just
yeah,
do the
yeah,
same
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
All right. So, what's the best? You know, again, I want you to not think about cost, but the best gift you've ever given someone, like where you've gone, oh my god, I've outdone myself. Like
Oh,
the best present, where
oh,
you knew the person was going to love it and they loved it, and it was a surreal feeling.
goodness, I'm obviously not a very good gift giver. I feel like that about all my gifts every year. There's something.
Okay. So
Um,
nothing stands out where you have to like hunt to get it, or you have to really plan to get it.
I think I do that every year. So we have this, you said about having prescribing and saying what you want. My husband and I have this thing where every year there has to be a surprise
Yeah,
random gift.
I think it's good.
Yeah, it is. And so that's something that we sort of hunt out and do. I know with the kids, I always get their expectations quite low and then we blow them out of the water, which is lovely.
That's good.
Yeah, I can think of presents that I've got that I've been like, whoa.
Oh, do you want to share one of those then?
I got a Euro coffee machine one year to make my own coffee, and
Wow.
I know, it was the best coffee of my life. It was a very bossy machine, and after 2 years we broke up because it wasn't giving me a break, but
Oh,
the
yeah.
coffee was amazing.
Yeah. So that's good. So it's something that you remember. Like we now have Kris Kringle. We don't actually buy presents for everyone. We just buy
Yeah,
one
we
present, and we have a big budget now. But what we do is we have themes. So this year's theme is dirty sexy. So
your family.
yeah.
Oh, I
So
love
it
it.
doesn't mean it has to be dirty sexy in the sense of that, but it has to be, you have to use that theme to. That's why it's all about thinking because it's only one present.
I love it.
So
I would love to see your mum's face when you say, "Mum, this year the theme is dirty sexy." She'd be like,
yeah.
"Yeah."
Yeah, and another thing, my best present, if you don't mind me sharing, because I'm so proud of this.
Yeah, do it.
Like, I got my partner at the time. I hired a tall ship.
No way.
Yeah, I hired a tall ship, right? And we went
As in
sailing.
like a first fleet tall ship.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so the thing is that it was really reasonably priced. So it was only $300 or something for an hour trip, but it was just magical having,
Yeah.
having a surprise, rocking up at the bay,
Yeah.
and he's going, what are you getting? What is it? And then I said, you're getting the ship. And so with this
Experiences are the best gifts too, aren't they?
well, that experience I just think was magical because I love it when no one can guess.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like and also it's way better than someone tossing it on the floor and then moving on to the next present.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I personally really, really like buying things that I've really, really thought about, like
Yeah.
a personal, yeah.
So
Okay.
that goes on to my next question. What would be the perfect gift for you this year? That's hard, isn't it?
Oh my God. Because I feel like, um,
It doesn't have to be a thing.
well, I really would love that my mum could come home for Christmas because she's in hospital at the moment. So
Yeah.
that would be really, really good that we can have Christmas together. And, that's really nice. And I mean, on a selfish note, I'm learning how to become a filmmaker.
Yeah.
So I would like anything to involved in like flights or cameras.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because
Yes.
I don't need anything else. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
All
that's
right. So my last question is, um, what are your desires, hopes, and dreams for 2021?
oh wow.
What would be one thing that you would like to see evolve for you personally in
Oh,
2021?
for me personally,
Yeah, like if all you're the one.
I
Yeah,
might I'll see for the world.
like what is it that
being a world
it's about you, no one else but you.
Okay. So for me in 2021, it's going to be an exciting year for me because my youngest is going to start school. So I will be almost a grown up most of the time.
Freedom,
so,
freedom.
so, actual fact, the biggest thing for me, and you know me very well, Joe, is that in 2021, I am not going to fill that space with anything for now. I'm going to fill that space with getting to know me and taking the patience to find out what unfolds rather than, as you know, signing up for another 4 or 5 degrees. This is going to be the year of, I guess, rediscovering.
Of doing,
Yeah, and doing
not
the list.
this is the year of doing, because I just saw something last night that we have to stop trying and we have to start doing.
Yeah, or realizing that we actually are
Yeah,
too. I think
yeah,
I've got to do a bit of that this year as well.
yeah.
Yeah. And what about you? 20.
Again, I think it's got to do with my mum, and I think it's got to do with, um, I know somewhere in my gut that I'm going somewhere to another level. So
Yay!
I just feel comfortable in just letting it happen.
Yeah.
I interviewed a guy for my podcast who's a clairvoyant, and during the podcast, he literally stopped and then told me did a reading, and it was full on.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. Like, so I just
You
want to
publish that podcast? I need to.
not yet. No,
Okay.
I was a guest on his podcast. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So
Brilliant.
I just think that that's a big thing for me is letting go and just being rather than wanting and having expectations and then
Yeah,
feeling like you failed.
yeah.
So that's what I did anyway. So like, I just let it happen.
Yeah, and well, that's the same as me for 2021.
Yeah.
And I think given that we all went into 2020 with 2020 vision boards, plans,
Yeah,
now we're
those
starting
things
to
are good, but I
we
think that
are.
the thing is that I think now if you don't relax after COVID, then you're gonna just
And
COVID
it's
really
taught us
relaxed
to
you.
accept, hasn't it? This year has taught us just to accept and go
Yeah,
with the flow and let the magic happen.
I need to ask you a personal question though.
Okay.
So you know how everyone sort of says, sometimes people say birthdays, Christmas, Easter. You know what men say that sometimes? When you talk to them, oh, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my lucky
Ah,
share. I'm gonna get my lucky
right,
share.
right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
what is
Okay.
that? What does that mean to you? I don't know. I'm not saying you personally, but what does that mean to you in general as a woman? You know how like sometimes those special days
Yeah.
become these tokens, and
And our men,
men wait for those days. They wait.
well, those are the good men that don't expect it all the time too, and that they
Well,
have to wait.
but
But
they've
then
sort of been
also,
promised. They've been promised. It's supposed
yeah,
to be special. Maybe
we've got
dress
a
ups. Maybe.
we've got one friend in particular that kicks around. He's absolutely hilarious. And he's always using that line around his wife, like, oh, it's Christmas, love. Like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to put my good knickers on. And
Oh my god,
I have to say, but then that I'm a very accepting, like,
wife.
yeah, and person. Like, I listen and I just filter and I take what I take. I
Yeah.
actually find it
Well,
quite
do you think that actually happens?
delightful because it's looking
Does it
forward to
happen?
something lovely. I think it probably does in some marriages. It
Yeah.
probably does,
I
but
guess that's what I wanted to
nice
know.
because
Does
it
it
means that
happen?
having sex with their wife is something really special that
I
just
know, but doesn't it also mean
deserves
that?
that,
Does
yeah,
it? Yeah, I was going to say, doesn't it also mean that they're not having sex? They're only having sex on
often
special
enough.
occasions. So
Yeah,
it seems like a negotiation rather than
than an
a
actual celebration. Yeah,
yeah. And so I know this is not the topic, but like, how does it get to that? Is it just life?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Merry
Oh, a lot of
Christmas.
things.
Merry Christmas to you, hubby. Come on,
Come on,
you
tell
got
us.
3.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. And then off till Easter.
You know what? When you asked me
You
that
if you're
first
lucky.
question, you asked me that question about Santa. I've
Yes.
just realised that what I thought was Santa was my mum and dad doing their Christmas present. That's what it was. All this time I thought was is that the reindeer on the roof? Oh
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
love
Anyway, Kim, happy Christmas.
yes, Merry Christmas to you.
Hope you have the best Christmas, and I look forward to bigger things from both our tribes in 2021.
Yeah, I think so. And congratulations for a successful year to you and Secret Men's Business.
Same to you, babe. Same to
So
you.
lovely working.
This girl here didn't even want to do anything, and then she did it.
Thank
So
you.
you really stood up. I loved it. I loved it. I was so proud of you.
Yeah, but I am very grateful for the support that you have given to the tribe and to me. You've always got my back. You're always there with
And you got my back.
me. So thank you
So
very
to all the girls that heard Tribe Win, Merry Christmas.
and to all the boys at Secret Men's Business, Merry Christmas to you too, and a happy 2021.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.